This legislature is called to session. Bang the gavel.
This legislature is called to order.
Say, clerk, can you give? Oh, no, no, no. Okay. Ask the clerk to do roll call. Madam, clerk, can you
Madam Clerk, can you please do roll call? Thank you.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Can you, that's right. Say, I apologize, Madam Clerk, I apologize. Can we please have the, yeah, Senator, whoever say the prayer?
Oh, I apologize, Madam Clerk.
No, no,
oh, okay.
yes.
Please rise.
And Senator,
I would like to call on Senator Squadrol to lead us in prayer.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Dear God, please help us today and give us all the wisdom and correct judgment that we need to show that our bills are helpful to our community and make sure that everything goes toward the greater glory for you. Amen. In the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
as Senator,
I would like to call on Senator Blandingen to recite the Inifresi.
Inifresi. Gina mastakulo, gihina saku, e mastakulo, gikura sonhu, zani masfigu, narinyas nyahu, o fresi maisasu, para bai patahi, zanhu defendi, e hinengi, e cultura, e linguahi, e aire, e hanom, zanitano tomorrow. Ni elen shaku, diretu, gina zo stata, estu afirma, gilo biblia, zani banderahu, e bandem guahara.
Senator Pangilinan to sing the Guam hymn.
I would like to call on Senator Pangilinan to sing the Guam hymn,
Chamorro.
the Chamorro, in Chamorro.
Manogi chamorro puritanota kansana tunanya itoru ilugat Padai honra Padai gloria abiba is la sempara Padai honra, Padai gloria, abiba is la sempara. Utoru I tempuri pas, Paraita, Zangili lang in a bendition. Contra peligro, nafat safulam, Zeus protect, he is languam. Contra peligro, nafat safulam, Zeus protect, he is languam.
Senator Taekwondo to sing the national anthem.
I'd like to call on Senator Taekwenko to sing the national anthem.
See by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed
you. Please be seated.
Ask the clerk now to call roll.
Madam Clerk, could you please call a roll?
Senator Armando Barroso. Senator Rachel Buonagat. Senator Jordan Elizaga.
Present.
Present. Senator Sharice Esteban. Senator Alonso Garcia. Senator Guarian Iriarte.
What's Senator Manuel's name? Right? Vice President.
Senator Rihanna Juanilo. Senator Manuel Langinden. Senator Donovan Lizama.
Ray.
Senator Kayleen Mendiola. Senator Venetia Pangilinan. Senator Dana Rowe. Senator Cara Rubio.
Present.
Senator Marisa Sayama.
Let me see the names. So who's not here?
Senator Caleb Squadro. Senator Marjorie Tremore. Senator Carmela Taikenko. Madam Speaker, there is a quorum.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk.
I'd like to recognize Senator.
I'd like to recognize Senator.
Hold on. Say, sorry. What's her name? Senator Free? Senator Tenero's counterpart, you're recognized. You say,
Senator
Tenorio's counterpart?
Senator Tenorio's counterpart.
Excuse me, Madam
You're
Speaker,
recognized.
I move to excuse the absent counterparts.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, the absent counterparts.
okay. On the motion to excuse the members absent, say, on the
On the
motion,
motion to excuse the members absent,
no objection?
no objections?
Someone say no. No objection? Objection? Was there an objection or no objection?
Was there an objection or no objections?
No objections? No objection, motion carries.
No objection, motion carries.
Okay, Senator Bueno, you're recognized. What's his name?
Senator Barroso, you're recognized.
On item number,
On item number 7 on our agenda.
he's gonna say, there are call to append the journal. No, she's gonna say. Say that's a $5 fine. Say Senator
That,
Guthers.
Senator Gutherds, that's a $5 fine. I'm sorry.
So. Senator Barroso.
Madam Speaker, I would like to move Bill 9-30 COR from the second reading file to the third reading file for discussion.
No. Senator Barroso, we're on.
Senator Barroso, we're on
Line item 7.
line item 7
from the journal
from
and
the journal and
communications.
communications and petitions.
Say, can you please move it and append it to the journal?
Can you please move it and append it to the journal?
I call for the approval of the journal.
On that motion, no objections, so ordered.
On that motion, no objections.
Okay, motion carries.
Motion carries.
No,
Or
so,
motion carried.
okay. On communications and petitions, Senator Barroso.
On communications and petitions, Senator Barroso.
There are
Yep, you're right. There are.
There are.
Yeah, tell them. They are. Have them say it.
there are
On, say, can you state on commissions and on communications and petitions they are?
Can you state on communications and petitions there are?
And can you append it to the journal?
And can you append it to the journal?
Journal.
To the journal?
yes, Madam Speaker.
If there are no objection, motion carries.
If there are no objections,
Motion carries. No objection. Motion carries.
motion carries.
And then message from the governor. Ask him on line item 9.
On line item 9,
Senator Barroso.
Senator Barroso, messages from the governor.
Yes, there are.
Okay, append it to the journal. Say, can you append it to
Can you append it to the journal?
Yes.
Okay. So ordered.
So ordered.
And then on reports and standing.
On reports of standing committees, Senator Barroso.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
There are.
There are.
Tell them to say there are and append it to the journal.
Please say there are and append it to the journal.
There are.
And can we append it to the?
And can we append it to the journal?
Yes.
Okay. So ordered.
So ordered.
On reports.
On
of-
reports of select committees, Senator Barroso.
There are none.
Okay, move on. On item number 12. Say Senator Barroso on item number 12.
Senator Barroso on item number 12.
Say there, Madam Speaker, there are bills for first reading.
Are there any motions here?
Madam Speaker, there are bills for first reading and resolutions.
And then read the bill numbers.
Bill number 1, COR, to bill number 12, COR. Bill number,
And resolution.
resolution number 1, COR, to resolution.
There are other resolutions.
There are other resolutions.
And then no
To
legislation.
have been read and.
No legislative certificates.
Say, and have bills, okay.
Okay.
On the first, move it to the first reading. Right? Yeah, okay, move it to the first reading. Say, can you move it to the first?
Can you move it to the first reading, please?
Move that all bills and resolutions be moved to first reading.
Madam Speaker, I move that the first bills and the resolutions be moved to first reading.
On that
For
motion, no
discussion.
objection.
On that motion, no objections?
So ordered.
So ordered.
Okay, on motions, Senator Barroso? Yeah, yeah.
On motion, Senator Barroso.
Are there any?
Are there any?
No, there are no
And
motions.
legislative concurrences?
And legislative concurrences?
There are none.
We move to the second reading file. Say, we are now on second reading file,
We are now on second reading file,
and I'm gonna acknowledge Senator Carmela
and I'm going to acknowledge Senator Carmela Taekwenko
on bill number
on bill number 1-30,
-30, COR.
COR.
Papa Dan, good afternoon.
Can you please turn on your mic?
Can you please turn on your mic? Okay.
Papa Dan, good afternoon. Madam Speaker, I move that Bill 1-30.
Please make sure when you speak.
Okay.
I move that Bill 1-30 be placed in the third reading, and I would like to speak briefly on my bill.
On that motion, please proceed.
On that motion, please proceed.
Thank you, Speaker and Senators. I have introduced Bill 1-30, an act to amend Section 28475 of Chapter 74 of Title 99, Guam Code annotated relative to the qualification of island veteran to operate quarantine facilities to kennel imported dogs. My bill is basically about allowing more than one veterinarian to be allowed to quarantine dogs. Right now, there is only one veterinarian on the island that is allowed to quarantine dogs. My bill reduces the number of years you need to get your license, which is 10 years to 2 years. This way, it would make it easier for other veterinarians to kennel off island dogs. Thank you.
Ask the colleagues to support. Okay, say thank you, Senator Carmela.
Thank you, Senator Carmela.
Would anybody like to speak on the motion
Would anybody like to speak on the motion?
on bill number 1?
On bill number 1.
Say if not,
If not,
motion to move
motion to move
bill number 1 to third reading.
bill
voting
number
file.
1 to third reading voting file.
Say, are there any objections?
Are there any objections?
If there are no objections,
If there are no objections,
bill 1 is moved
bill 1 is moved
to the voting file.
to the voting file.
I'd like to recognize
This one. I'd like to recognize Senator Alfonso Garcia on bill number 2-30 COR.
Good morning, everyone. Madam Speaker, I move to place Bill number 2-30 on the third reading file, and I'd like to speak on it.
Please proceed.
Please proceed.
This is an act to appropriate $405,000 from the Healthy Futures Fund to the Mayor's Council of Guam to provide dumpsters for use in recycling items that are not allowed to be disposed of in the Ordo dump or the Lion landfill. This bill is to make it more convenient for the people of Guam to be able to recycle, and this will be in the mayor's office. So instead of going so far just to dump something or be able to recycle something, they could just do it in the mayor's office, which will save money, gas, time, lots of things. And I believe that this will be like very convenient for the residents to be able to recycle in such a little way also. And this could also make a big change. And I'm also asking my colleagues to support this because it could improve the environment and make life easier just by a little bit for the people of Guam. Thank you.
Say thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Senator Garcia. Would anybody like to speak on bill number 2? Senator Yardi,
You're recognized
you are recognized
on bill number 2.
on bill number 2.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Senator Garcia, if I'm not mistaken, how were you able to come up with that number, $405,000?
Can you address the speaker?
Senator Yardi, could you address the speaker?
Oh, sorry. Okay,
Do you have a
this
question?
question is posed to Senator Garcia.
Would you like to yield,
Would you like to yield?
Senator Garcia?
Senator Garcia, would you like to yield?
Yes.
Restate my question.
Please proceed.
Okay.
Please proceed with your questioning,
Senator.
Senator Yardi.
My question was, how were you able to come up with that dollar figure?
It's $5,000 per dumpster. So that's like the total of everything already.
Okay.
To address the,
Okay, that answers my question. Thank you.
okay, say thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Senator Yardi.
Anybody else wishing to speak on bill number 2?
Anyone else wishing to speak on bill number 2? Yes, Senator Pangilinan,
You're recognized.
you're recognized.
You're getting
The author yields to a question. How are,
Can you speak louder to the mic?
Can you speak louder and into the mic, Senator Pangilinan, please?
okay. Will the author yield to a question?
Can you state your question?
Yes.
Please state your question.
How are you going to make everyone that are willing to put their recycle stuff there, but what if they just leave it and it piles up there? What are you willing to do?
Say, Senator Garcia, would you like to answer the question?
Senator Garcia, would you like to answer the question?
Yes, I would like to answer the question. There are like 3 dumpsters. One is for cardboard, and one is for metal, and one is for plastic. And we can't really say if people will be able to put it in, but we're just hoping that people will like be able to support this because it is our island and the world is changing, and it's like kind of hard times right now with the environment going bad. It's like because the environment's getting back on us little by little, and we just don't notice it that much. But with this little change, I believe people should at least support it a bit more because this will make a big change in the long run, like in the long time, in the future. Like we can't really say that they would be able to really do it. We just hope that they would be able to do it. It's just like a little bit support. That's the only thing we're asking, and we just hope that people a little bit care for this one. Yeah.
That answered my question. Thank you.
Say thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Senator Pangilinan.
Anybody else wishing to speak?
Anybody else wishing to speak on the motion?
Senator,
Yes, Senator Esteban, you're recognized.
Will the author please yield?
Yes.
state your question.
State your question, please.
Why did you choose Healthy Futures Fund when that program is supposed to help people quit smoking and drinking? Wouldn't it be a better decision to choose a different program to help with the dumpsters?
Senator Garcia, would you like to answer that question?
Yes. First of all, trash, if we don't do anything about it at all, will later on affect the environment. And if it affects badly to our environment, this would later on affect our bodies. And who did we want healthy bodies? Thank you.
Does that answer your question, Senator Eswan?
Yes, thank you.
Senator Squadrol, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise in support of this bill because recycling saves natural resources, it protects the environment, and it's not hard to do it all. Thank you.
Thank you. With Senator Tremor, you're recognized.
Hello. Okay. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also support the idea of getting the money for the dumpsters because I believe also that it protects the environment and it's better to recycle because it's actually one cause of littering, and it's also good for the students to learn how to recycle, in the future. Okay, thank you. Oh, and I also want to ask if I could be a co-sponsor.
On that motion to make Senator Tremor a second co-sponsor. Any objections?
No objections.
No objections. Motion carries. Anyone else wishing to speak on Bill 2? Yes, Senator Pangilinan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to support this bill because since Guam is small and we are going to be here for a long time, or some even short, we should make a difference with the recycling and keeping Guam clean because
it helps everyone. It makes all the children think positive that they should even recycle and they should even help out in the environment as well too.
Thank you, Senator Pangilinan.
Anyone else on the motion?
Anyone else on the motion of Bill 2?
Senator Garcia, would you like to close on your motion?
Senator Garcia, would you like to close on your motion?
Yes, and I would like to thank everyone for passing this. Any comments at all? No? No? Okay. Thank you.
So move it to the third reading. Ask Senator Garcia to move it to
Senator Garcia, could you move it to the voting file to the third reading? On the third reading voting file, sorry.
I would like to move this to third reading voting file.
No objections? Motion carries.
What's the next bill?
I would like to recognize Senator Esteban on Bill number 3-30 COR.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'd like to request Bill 3-30 to be placed in third reading file, and I would like to speak on the bill.
Please proceed.
Madam Speaker, what Bill 3-30 does simply brings transparency to our government. Where is our tax money going to? The citizens don't exactly know where his or her tax money is going to. They hear that their tax money will be put to use to benefit our island, but do they actually see that their money was being used properly? It seems as if the government keeps their budgets confidential, hidden from citizens, and only visible to those within their agency. This community pays taxes, which funds the government agencies. Citizens expect the government to provide basic services such as fixed roads, safe buildings for schools, working street lights, working power and running water, and adequate hospitals. It is an expectation to see the government service our island. If we give our money to them, we should know where it will be going to. It is a law that we are required to pay and file our taxes. If that isn't followed, we may be charged criminally and our bank account may be garnished. Since each citizen is required to follow this law, in my opinion, I feel that it should be required for government agencies to post their budgets on their websites, which will allow the community to see what their tax money is being used for. Some government agencies may have their budgets posted to their websites, but it should be a requirement for all agencies to be transparent and to post their budget on their website. This way, we can see, as tax-paying citizens, how our money is being spent. In conclusion, government agencies should be held accountable for every cent spent, because we, the citizens, are the providers for its funding, and each citizen should be able to know where his or her money is going. I thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity and ask all my colleagues to support Bill 3-30 and bring transparency to our government.
Thank you, Senator Esteban. Anyone wish to speak on Bill 3? Yes, Senator Squadron, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise in support of this bill because I believe it adds transparency to the government, and it also shows the people where their money is going. Also, it provides good information so that people know what they're giving to. I would like to become a co-sponsor.
On that motion, then? Are there any objections? No objections, motion carries.
Thank you, Madam
Thank you,
Speaker.
Senator Squadron. Anyone else want to speak on Bill 3? Yes, Senator Pangilinan, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to support this bill because everyone should be aware of where their money goes, especially because not much people really know where it goes and what they're using it for. So I would like to support.
Thank you, Senator Pangilinan. Anyone else wishing to speak on Bill 3? If not, then on the motion, would you like to close, Senator Esteban?
Yes, and I would like to thank all my colleagues for supporting my bill. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator, I'm sorry, my apologies. On the motion to move it to the voting file,
Any objections?
any objections? No objections. Motion carries. I would like to recognize Senator Chimor on Bill number 4-30 COR.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I move to place Bill number 4-30 COR in third reading, and I'd like to speak in a motion.
Please proceed.
Yeah, so I went around the island, not around, but like just. So we saw like some of the areas that had litter and had graffiti, and it's really devastating because it really looks like they're trashing our island. And I would know because I also go to Benavente Middle School, and I see some people graffitiing, also littering, because I have NJHS trash pickup every Friday, and we always go around the school picking up trash, and every week we would always see a lot of people still, littering. And that's really, really sad. And it's really harming the environment, and it's harming plants, anything else, even animals that are endangered, maybe. They might choke on it, everything. Also, of the graffiti, it just looks really ugly. I mean, yeah, it doesn't look really good, and this is our island. We should respect it always. So, Madam Speaker, I would like to amend my bill on line 4. Oh, sorry. The bill, my bad. It's to publish convictions of graffiti-related crimes. It's to publish all of the names and the names for who did graffiti or who did litter in the websites and also in the newspaper to see, people who actually did graffiti and litter. And I would like to amend my bill on line 4 after names to add the words "and photograph." Madam Speaker, I think adding the name of the person who has littered or graffitied our island, but maybe it would be a better deterrent if we added their photographs so that the community would not just know their name, but how they look like and who is destroying our island's beauty. Thank you.
Can you please state your amendment again?
I'm sorry, Senator Chimor, could you please state your amendment again and on what line?
Okay. By the end of every calendar month, the Judiciary of Guam shall publish the names and photograph of any person convicted or cited of violating this section in a local daily publication and its website. The lists of names shall remain on the Judiciary website for at least 1 calendar year.
So your amendment is to add photographs to the.
Yes.
Okay, on that motion, would anyone like to speak on the bill on the amendment? I'm sorry. Senator Pangilinan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to support this bill because everywhere I go, I do see graffiti, and it's not really nice because it's mostly about gangs, Blood, Deuce, Crips, all those gangs that are really bad. It's really disturbing because one, Guam is too small to have gangs, and it's really sick to see that they'll go through whatever.
Excuse me, Senator Pangilinan, I'm sorry, but are you speaking on the amendment or on the motion? On the bill, I'm sorry.
On the bill.
Okay, say, we're on the amendment.
I'm sorry, but we're on the amendment.
Which
Sorry.
is, did you want to speak?
Did you want to speak on the amendment, Senator Pangilinan?
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Pangilinan.
And then Senator Tonetta Scott. Senator Jordan.
Senator Jordan, did you want to speak on the amendment?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak on the amendment? If not,
Senator Trimmer, would you like to?
Senator Chimor, would you like to close on your motion?
On your amendment.
Oh, your amendment, I'm sorry.
Okay, we're just trying to add their photographs. So, yeah. Oh, I'd like to disclose my amendment.
She's close.
Any objections on the amendment? If there are no objections, motion carries. On the main bill,
And as amended, on the main bill,
on the main bill, as amended,
Senator Trimmer, would you like to?
Senator Chimor, would you like to close?
Yes.
Please proceed.
Oh. Okay, just to say, this is good for our environment and for Guam, so that everybody would just stop littering and stop graffitiing, because it will ruin our beauty, our island's beauty.
Thank you, Senator Chimor.
The motion to place it on third read for the voting file.
On the motion to place it on the third reading voting file?
No objection.
No objections? Motion carries. I would like to recognize Senator Jordan Elizaga on Bill number 5-30 COR. I'm sorry, Senator Jordan, could you turn on your mic, please?
I would like to move that bill number 5-30 be moved into the third reading file.
Would the author of the bill like to speak on the bill?
Yes, ma'am.
Please proceed.
The bill number 5-30 would restrict the use of mobile phones while driving. So if you ever use a mobile phone like calling or texting or answering the phone, you would be fined with $150. I would do this because there's a 600% increase of driving-related accidents when using your mobile phone. So I would like to stop the people from using their phones while driving, and the only people that are excluded from the only people excluded from using their phones while driving are the emergency responders, like the police, the hospital, and the firefighters, so that just in case an emergency call comes up, like someone needs emergency help, they're injured, there's a criminal behind them, they could call them and respond very quickly. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Jordan. Would anyone like to speak on bill number 5? Senator Chimor, you are recognized.
I would just like to ask a question of the author.
Please state your question.
Is it okay if you lower down $150?
Would you like to yield to the question, Senator
How
Jordan?
much? To like $50?
No.
Oh, I see that. I moved to the amend of $50. Yeah.
On that motion to bring down the fine to $50.
Anybody wishing to speak on that?
Anybody wishing to speak on that? Oh, I'm sorry.
Senator Chimor,
Why?
please explain
Senator Chimor, please explain
your amendment.
your amendment.
It's just that $150, isn't that like kind of a lot? Would you like it if you were caught on the cell phone and you were driving and then you get caught? Would you pay $150? I probably wouldn't. But I'm just saying. I mean, they have like other bills to pay and other like necessities to pay. I mean, like for $150 worth, I mean, you could buy like a lot with that, and you could also pay your bill with that. That's all.
Would anybody else like to speak on that amendment? Yes, Senator Jordan, you're recognized.
$50 is a good price, but we give you 90 days after the governor passes the law, so that they give PSAs, we give announcements we hold a fiesta, give free food, and in the middle of everybody's eating, we tell them that they are not allowed to use mobile phones. So we give them a good amount of time to get used to the cell phone law. And we are just trying to reduce the accidents on Guam from 600% to 0%.
Okay,
Thank
just
you.
to be clear, Senator Jordan, was that an objection to the amendment?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Any other speakers on the amendment? On the amendment, there was an objection. So by the show of hands, wait, I apologize, I'm sorry. Senator Chimor, you can close on your amendment.
I'd like to close my amendment. Just saying that it's much more reasonable if it's $50 rather than $150, because there are more people can't really afford it, and they have more bills and more what if they have like a baby or something and they needed like clothes or food or money? I mean, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, Senator Chimor. Well, on the motion to amend the $150 fine to $50, there was an objection. So by a show of hands, those in favor of the amendment, please raise your hand. 1, 2. Please raise your hands high.
Motion fails.
The motion fails. Senator Chimor, you still have the floor. Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. Senator Jordan. Sorry. On the main bill. Would you like to close?
Yes. I would move my motion. I move to. This is good bill because uh, the PSAs and everything that is needed to tell the public, they will no local funds will be used. All of it will be federal funds. Thank you.
Please move it to the third reading voting file.
I move it to the third reading file.
Voting file, sir. Or Senator.
I move bill number 5-30 to the third reading file.
Voting file.
Voting file.
Okay,
That's correct.
that's correct.
There are no objections.
Are there no objections? Motion carries.
Next bill. Yeah. Third reading. Voting file.
I would like to recognize. I'm sorry. I would like to recognize Senator Manuel Landin on bill number 6-30 COR.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the bill number 6-30 be moved to third reading for discussion, and I would like to speak on the bill.
Please proceed.
Madam Speaker, basically this is an act to make Guam Street safer by lowering the legal alcohol level by weight for motor vehicles operations from 0.8% to 0.5%. The bill I am proposing for your consideration and hopefully your support would lower the blood alcohol level from 0.8% to 0.5% as a legal limit for the operator of a vehicle, motor vehicle. We are all aware that the current limit of 0.8% is constantly being violated. This has resulted in numerous deaths and injuries. Unfortunately, the deaths and injuries are often caused to innocent drivers and pedestrians. The increasing rate of people driving while being intoxicated due to alcohol is being fought nationwide. Many states have lowered their limits to 0.5%. It is their belief that this is a positive step towards ensuring sober driving. What I want for the bill is to have people not drive when they have been drinking by amending the Safe Streets Act and making it more restrictive. I believe it will help motorists to be cautious and safe drivers. The bill also proposes to lower the blood alcohol content for minors. Of course, we all know that minors are not supposed to be drinking in the first place. However, if they do drink, this bill would lower the limit for blood alcohol content to 0.02% by weight, which would then be the cutoff point for a criminal charge of driving under the influence of alcohol. Minors who are caught driving under the influence of alcohol will find themselves in such serious trouble that perhaps they will be forced to think before they drink. Intake of alcohol while driving under the age of 18 will be grounds for a criminal charge as well as the loss of their driver's license. The risks drinking and driving minors are bringing to the community are not acceptable. I believe this bill will accomplish its purpose and reduce the number of driving accidents as minors and in the future when they are of legal age. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Manuel. Would anyone like to speak on bill number 6? Senator Pangilinan, you are recognized. Senator
A question yield to the author.
Please state your question.
How are you going to stop the minors and the people from drinking since they're...
I'm sorry, Senator Pangilinan, could you talk closer to the mic? Thank you.
How are you going to stop the minors and the adults when it's really impossible to even catch like 5 or more? How are you willing?
Senator Manuel, would you like to yield to that question?
Yes.
Please proceed.
Just as we do now in the DUI checkpoints or in an accident, the operators tested.
Does that answer your question, Senator Pangilinan?
Yes, madam. Thank you.
Anyone? Oh, Senator Jordan, you were recognized.
Can I make an amendment?
Sure.
I would like to amend that in page 3, line number 19, that instead of 0.02%, can it be more than 0.0 or more than 0% because minors are not supposed to have any alcohol in their body?
So do you have that amendment in writing?
Do you have that amendment in writing, Senator Jordan?
Oh,
Do you have that amendment in writing?
what can I write now?
We're gonna take a 10-second recess to get that.
We're gonna take a 10-second recess so we can get it in writing. Jordan, on your amendment? Yes. Please read it. Please read it, your amendment. Oh, I'm sorry.
On page 3, line 19, I read that. And line 19, instead of having to have more than 2/100ths of 1%, I rather get to have more than 0% by weight of alcohol in his or her blood, because no minor should have drank alcohol, no matter what.
Thank you, Senator Jordan. Would anyone like to speak on the amendment? Okay, Senator Manuel, you are recognized.
Madam Speaker, as a point of information, the law already states that minors cannot drink. The level of 0.02% establishes a benchmark for a criminal charge if they do drink and drive. Although I appreciate the intent of the amendment, I still feel 0.02% is appropriate. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Okay, Senator Emanuel, that's an objection, right? Is that an objection?
Yes, Madam Speaker.
Okay. On the amendment, would Senator Esteban, would you like to speak on the amendment?
I am also against the amendment because some people produce alcohol in their bodies, such as diabetic people, and if they are driving and a police officer pulls them over, could they just go to jail because they had alcohol in their body but they didn't consume any alcohol? It was just their body.
I'm sorry, Senator Esteban, is that a question?
Yes, how will it affect them? It's a question.
Would you like Senator Jordan to yield?
Yes, please.
Senator Jordan, would you like to yield?
What was the question?
Please repeat your question, Senator Esteban.
How will this amendment affect diabetic people who produce alcohol in their bodies if they were to get pulled over by a cop and go to jail because of the level of alcohol in their body?
Oh, can I withdraw my amendment? Because now I never knew that diabetics were like that. So.
Okay. On the
Sorry.
motion to withdraw the amendment, are there any objections? No objections. Motion carries. On the main motion, Senator Emanuel, would you like to pose?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, for the sake of our community, I ask my colleagues to support Bill 6-30. I move that Bill number 6-30 be placed in the third reading voting file. Thank you.
On that motion, are there any objections? No objections. Motion carries. I would like to recognize Senator Iriarte, Bill number 7-30, COR.
Madam Speaker, I would like to move Bill number 7-30 COR from the second reading file to the third reading file for discussion.
Please proceed.
Okay. Hafade todo senador. Tumotaki zo gini gini menen mizu para bahusangani todo samso put online tumotaki zo. Tumotaki zo put programma tomorogi dispensa yes gwalang takilo. Tinahong na tiempo para mafanagwi i estudanti puri lengguahe zani kulturan Chamorro sa mulago to para bayo to laika ilai gi 1 año para 2 años para mafanagwi i estudanti i lengguahe zani kultura sa para respeto po translada gi fino English pago para todos de cinema comprendido. Okay, with that said, I wanted to introduce the bill in my native language. And okay, with that said, first of all, bill number 7-30 COR reads that it is an act to increase the high school minimum level requirement for Chamorro language from 1 year to 2 years. As a student of the Guam public school system, I've seen that for several years, the Chamorro language program within the island's public high schools has been operating with little to no result in terms of performance of students in improving their skills in Guahan's native language. This low performance can be attributed in part to the insufficient 1-year requirement for students to study the Chamorro language. ILA Haslaturan finds that eliminating one elective credit from the amount of credits necessary for a student to graduate and replacing the elective course with an additional 1 Chamorro language course credit would greatly improve the knowledge of students surrounding Guahan's language and culture. Bill number 7-30 COR seeks to amend subsection 8103 of the Guam Code annotated to read, the Department of Education and the Superintendent of Education shall establish a program and require a minimum of 6 years mandatory course in the Chamorro language and culture in public elementary schools, a minimum of 1 year in middle schools, and a minimum of 2, not 1 as the GCA currently states, years in high schools on Guam. And this act shall be effective upon the start of school year 2010-2011.
Thank you, Senator Yarte. Would anybody like to speak on this bill? Senator Taekwondo, you are recognized.
Madam Speaker, I would like to be added as a co-sponsor to this bill.
On that motion, are there any objections? No, if there are none, motion carries.
Thank you.
Senator Pangilinan, you are recognized.
I would like to support this bill because the Chamorro language is important for everyone. Because one, this is the island where the Chamorros came, but then now it's not really much because everyone has to learn different languages and they also have to speak English because not everyone can understand any language. So I would like to support.
Thank you, Senator Pangilinan. Would anyone, is there anyone else wishing to speak? Senator Esteban, you're recognized.
I would also like to become a co-sponsor of this bill, and I also support it because in most high schools they require 2 years to take a foreign language, and I think it is important to increase the course of Chamorro language to 2 years too, because it isn't a foreign language, it's a native language, and it's more important to our island for us to learn about it.
On that motion to place Senator Esteban as co-sponsor, or third co-sponsor, are there any objections? If there are no objections, motion carries. Anyone else wishing to speak on bill number 7? If not, Senator Yarte, would you like to close?
thank you for those who have come out in support of the bill, and I urge the rest of my colleagues to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Move to the third voting part.
Could you please?
To the voting part. To the voting part. Okay.
On the motion to move Bill number 7 to the voting file, are there any objections? No objections. Motion carries. I would like to recognize Senator Rayana Juanillo on Bill number 8-30 COR.
Madam Speaker, I would like to move Bill number 8-30 COR from the second reading file to the third reading file for discussion.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Bill number 3-30 COR is an act to raise the legal drinking age from 18 years to 21 years. E. Lihes Laturan Guahan finds that after prohibition, nearly all states restricting alcohol to young people designated 21 as a minimum legal drinking age. E. Lihes Laturan Guahan further finds that numerous development health studies show younger alcohol drinkers may impair their brain development, develop alcoholism, liver problems, spleen damage, and physiological problems. Young drinkers may have a higher risk of getting into accidents, injuries, or possibly death. It is therefore the intent of Ilihes Laturanguahan that by following in the example of almost all the rules in the United States by increasing the minimum legal drinking age to 21, we ensure the safety and the well-being of our younger people. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Say thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Senator.
Say Senator Rubio, you're recognized.
Senator Rubio, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to co-sponsor this bill.
Say on that motion.
On that motion,
If there's no objections,
if there is no objections,
motion carries.
motion carries.
Senator Rubio.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Manuel, would you like to speak?
Senator Manuel, would you like to speak?
Madam Speaker, I'd like to be a co-sponsor of
Third co-sponsor.
the bill.
On that motion,
On that motion,
no objections. We are on 7. At 8. 8. Number 8. No objections to Senator Manuel being
no objections to Senator Manuel being
third co-sponsor.
third co-sponsor.
Yeah, motion carries.
Motion carries.
Anybody else wishing to speak on bill number 8?
Anybody else wishing to speak on bill number 8?
Senator Pangilinan, you're recognized.
Senator Pangilinan, you're recognized.
I would like to be co-sponsor on the bill.
On that motion, are there any objections?
On that motion, are there any objections?
If there's no objections,
If there's no objections, motion carries.
anybody else wanting to speak?
Anybody else wanting to speak?
If not, Senator Juanita.
If not,
Senator Juanita, would you like to close?
Senator Juanila, would you like to close?
I want to say thank you for all those who supported my bill. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity to speak on Bill number 8-30 COR, and I ask my colleagues to support this proposal. Thank you.
On the motion to place it on the file,
On that motion to place it on the voting file.
no objection,
No objections.
motion carries.
Motion carries.
Next bill is bill number 9. Say next bill is bill number 9.
Next bill is bill number 9.
Recognized.
Recognized Senator Barrazo.
Madam Speaker, I would like to move Bill number 9-30 COR from the second reading file to the third reading file for discussion.
Please proceed.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Bill number 9-30 COR is an act to add a physical fitness requirement to the minimum qualifications for employment as a Guam Police Department officer. E. Legislatura finds that Guam police officers are not maintaining a physically fit body. Police officers should exercise at least twice a week to keep their body fit. E. Legislatura would like to add a subsection under the minimum qualifications in becoming a Guam police officer. A new subsection 8 is hereby added to 10 Guam Code annotated section 77114 to read, number 8, submit to and pass a physical fitness exam which will test their cardiovascular endurance, speed, and strength, and should consist of running laps with a given time limit. He or she must be able to do a minimum number of pull-ups, sit-ups, and push-ups. A step test will be included by running up and down the stairs for a given time amount.
Thank you. Anybody would like to speak on the motion? Senator Caleb, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to support this bill because I do not believe that the stereotype of police officers eating donuts is a very good one. I believe that they should be recognized as the people who protect us from criminals and who enforce our nation's laws and our island's laws. And I think they should be given that respect. So I support your bill. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Caleb.
Thank you, Senator Caleb.
Anyone else wishing to speak?
Anyone else wishing to speak?
Senator Esteban,
Senator Esteban,
and then Senator Juanito, and then Senator Juanito.
and then Senator Juanita.
I would like to become a co-sponsor of this bill.
On that motion,
If there are no objections,
if there are no objections, motion carries.
Senator Juanito,
Senator Juanilo,
you're recognized.
you're recognized.
Madam Speaker, I'd like to add to the amendment for also firefighters
Where would you like to put that amendment?
because they're overweight.
So, where would you like to put that amendment?
Or not all
Where
of
would
them.
you like to put that amendment?
Senator Juanito, where would you like to put that amendment?
Section 2,
What line?
What line?
excuse me,
What line?
line 6.
That's section 1. Did you want line 8 or line 6?
Did you want line 8 or line 6?
Line 8.
At the end of line 8?
At the end of line 8?
Yes.
Okay. So it is to include. See, Senator Juanito, do you have an amendment? Do you have that amendment in writing?
Do you have that amendment in writing?
We're gonna take.
No,
only
but it's a
one.
simple amendment.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be easier? So is it on line 6 or line 8? Let's take a 1 minute. See, we're gonna take a 1 minute recess.
We're going to take a 1-minute recess. The legislature is back in session.
Senator Juanito,
Senator Walnilo,
please read your amendment.
please read your amendment.
They're making copies.
Okay,
Oh, just one copy, okay, you got it.
on Senator Juanilo's amendment, would anybody like to speak?
On Senator Walnilo's amendment, would anybody like to speak?
See. Add to read,
Add to read,
add to section one,
add to section 1, line
23.
23. After police officers, insert firefighters, and line 15, after department, add Guam Fire Department.
On the motion,
On the motion,
would anybody like to speak?
would anybody like to speak?
Are there any objections?
Are there any objections?
If there are no objections,
If there are no objections,
are there any objections?
are there any objections?
No objections, motion carries.
No objection, motion carries.
On the main motion, would anybody like to speak?
On the main motion, would anybody like to speak?
If not,
If not,
Senator Juanito, would you move it to the voting file?
Senator Juanito, would you move it to the voting file?
No, number 9 to the voting file. Oscar?
Move it to the voting file?
Yes.
Okay, on that motion,
Okay, on that motion, if there are no objections,
motion carries.
motion carries.
Senator Rubio, you're recognized on bill number 10-.
Senator Rubio,
Say Speaker Rubio,
Speaker Rubio,
you're recognized.
you're recognized on bill number 10-30.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to move Bill number 10-30 COR to the third reading voting file
Would you like to speak on the
and discuss my bill.
Would you like to speak on the motion?
Yes, please. Yes, Madam
Please
Speaker.
proceed.
Okay. My bill is to propose tax, a 200% increased tax on alcohol. A couple weeks ago, we had a suicide presentation at my school done by Nafa Malik, and we learned some really shocking facts about suicide on Guam. A suicide on Guam happens about every day. We just don't hear about it, and if you think about it, that's quite often. On page 2, line 23, it says, cumulatively from 2000 to 2009, 20% of suicide deaths occurred in those aged 10 to 19. 1 out of 5 suicides were from kids our age, teenagers, 10 to 19 years old. 30% of suicide deaths in 2008 to 2009 involved alcohol consumption. Over 1/3 of high school students are current drinkers. Current drinking among high school youth on Guam is lower than the U.S. average. But unlike adults, girls are drinking just as much as boys. Research shows that alcohol is a prevalent factor in suicide for youths our age. This bill would put an excise tax on all alcoholic beverages. On malted fermented beverages, the tax would increase to 20 cents per each 12 fluid ounces. On distilled beverages, the tax would be moved to $54 per gallon. On vinous beverages, which are which have the consistency of wine, $14.85 would be moved. All the proceeds of these taxes will go to programs for youth, such as the Healthy Futures Fund. 50% of the tax earmarked from this bill would go there. Another 15% would go to the Guam Cancer Trust Fund for programs supporting cancer screening, treatment, and supporting services. 12% of the taxes would go to GMH for operating expenses, 11% of the taxes collected would go to the Department of Public Health and Social Services for health promotion and disease prevention programs that attempt to reduce resources spent on treating preventable illness and functional impairment. And the last 11% of the taxes would go to the Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse for tobacco prevention and cessation programs that attempts to reduce tobacco and alcohol consumption on Guam. Thank you.
Would anybody like to speak on the motion? Senator Pangilinan, you're recognized. I would like to support this bill because alcohol doesn't solve anything. It just causes more drama and more problems to everyone else, especially your family. It hurts them the most. So I would like to support. Thank you. Anybody else wishing to speak? Anybody else? If not, Speaker Rubio, would you like to close? Senator Trimmer? You are recognized. On Bill 10.
I'd like to pose a question to the author.
Please state your question.
Are any of the excess, the proceeds from the taxing, are marked for suicide prevention?
Please state that question.
Are any of the the proceeds of the taxes remarked for the suicidal prevention? For suicidal prevention?
Speaker Rubio, would you like to answer?
No, it is not, but would you like to make that an amendment?
Yes. Oh, yes. Can I?
Thank you.
I'd like to make an amendment on page 6, line 20, after the word "on," to add the words "on suicidal prevention."
On that motion, are there any objections?
No objections.
On line 20.
On line 20, after the word "on." Can you restate that amendment?
On page 6, line 20, to add the word "suicide prevention" after the word "on."
Does everybody get that? Are there any objections? If no objection, motion carries. Anyone else wishing to speak on the main motion?
If not, Speaker Rubio, can you close? Oh, wait. Yes. Senator Garcia.
Senator Garcia.
Madam Speaker, I rise in full support of this bill because I believe that that this would really help in many different programs, and this would make people more cautious. And I would also like to be added as a co-sponsor.
On that motion, are there any objections? If there's none, motion carries. Anybody else wishing to speak on the main motion? If not, Speaker Rubio, would you like to close?
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to thank my colleagues for their support. I would like to ask my other colleagues for their support on this bill. As we all know, research shows that the higher the price of alcohol, then there's a decrease in people buying the alcohol. And from the data given locally, we can see its prevalence among suicide deaths. So this would be really important in preventing that. So I would like to thank you all again for your support and ask for my other colleagues' support on this bill. Thank you.
Would you like to move it to the voting file?
I'd like it to move it. I'd like to move it to the voting file.
If there are no objections, motion carries.
Madam Clerk, are there any more bills? Asking Madam Clerk, are there any more bills?
Madam Clerk, are there any more bills?
Are there any more bills? There's no more bills. See, we're going to take a 1 minute break, recess.
We're going to take a 1 minute recess.
I would like to recognize Senator Scondro on bill number 11-30 COR.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that Bill 1130 COR be placed on third reading file for purpose of discussion.
Please proceed.
Please proceed.
Madam Speaker, I would like to make a brief remark on Bill 1130.
Please proceed.
Madam Speaker, Bill 1130 is an act to add a new subsection C to Section 63109 of Chapter 63, Title 21 of the Guam Code Annotated, relative to enforcing the Clean Water Act and the Guam Territorial Seashore Act, ensuring the protection of Guam's coral reef from soil and sediment erosion. I believe this bill is important because legislature finds that many of Guam's reef have declined in health over the past 40 years. The average live coral on 4 reef slopes was approximately 50% in the 1960s, but dropped half to 25% of live coral cover by the 1990s. The construction of roads, ports, and airports have degraded several reefs, not just on Guam, but in all the Marianas Islands and Micronesia. Therefore, my new subsection to Section 63109 adds a new degree to the punishment for violation of this bill. Subsection C provides that any development in violation of the Clean Water Act and the Territorial Seashore Act shall be guilty of a felony, and upon conviction thereof may be imprisoned for not more than 5 years or fined not more than $100,000, or both. The Commission shall revoke all permits pertaining to said development until such time the Commission determines that the coral reefs near said development is protected. A violation of any other provision of this article or its supporting regulation shall be guilty of a misdemeanor, and upon conviction thereof shall be punishable by a fine of not less than $50, nor more than $500, or by imprisonment of not more than 90 days, or by both fine and imprisonment. I would like to ask my colleagues for support in Bill 1130 because I believe that it protects our reefs, and our main industry is tourism, and no one wants to go swimming in a dead beach, So, thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Caleb. Would anybody like to speak on this bill? Yes, Senator Garcia, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to rise in support for this bill, and because I believe that if this is passed, that it'll make the coral reefs or the other places around the island it will make it look better, and that it will help the environment. It will also like help the fishes there in the coral reefs, and it will go towards in helping the environment. And I believe that this will also bring more people and tourism. This will add more tourism to Guam, and yeah. And I would also like to be a co-sponsor to this.
On that motion, are there any objections? If there are no objections, motion carries. Anyone else? Oh, okay. Senator Pangilinan, you are recognized.
I would like to support this bill because the coral reefs, they protect us from a lot of things. And it's also the homes of the fishies. And I don't want that to go away. What's wrong with those people? Okay, but I move that the words, the years on line 3, page 1, be deleted because it's repeated.
Please state that amendment again.
I move that the words, the years on line 3, page 1, be deleted.
On that motion, are there any objections?
No objections, motion carries.
No objections, motion carries. Any other speakers on this bill? Are there any? Yes, Senator Taekwenko, you are recognized.
I am in support of this bill, especially in light of the impending military buildup that proposes to dredge the coral reefs in Apra Harbor. We need to protect our environment. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Would anyone else like to speak on this bill? If not, Senator Caleb, could you, if you'd like to close?
Yes. Madam Speaker, we have laws in Guam right now. What is needed is to increase the punishment and strengthen deterrence. Also, the extra revenue from the increased fine will add to paying for additional services or programs to protect our environment. I would like to thank all of my supporters and all my co-sponsors. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Would you like to move your bill to
Yes,
the
I would
voting
like
file?
to move to the third reading file for voting.
If there are no objections to the motion, motion carries. I would like to recognize Bill number 12-30 COR with Senator Pangilinan. You're recognized.
I move that Bill 12-30 be placed in the third reading file. I would like to speak on the bill.
Please proceed.
Ilehes Laturan finds that there is a great concern of homeless people in the village of Derido and that there are some kids that need tutoring to help them with their school. Since we are trying to make a better life for people to have a second chance or even get a start to where they want to be, they can come to our facility for homeless tutoring, career paths, and second-hand stores. Adults that have nowhere to go can live or apply for the job to help out kids that need tutoring or even help out in giving others food, supplies, and other necessary things that are needed in this life. So basically, I'm just trying to say that I just want to help people, especially the homeless and the kids, because when the homeless can make a difference and even the kids, but then how are they going to start when we have to supply everything, but if no one else is going to help, then how are we going to make them get a better start?
Thank you, Senator. Would anybody like to speak on this bill? Senator Caleb, you are recognized.
I speak in support of this bill because I believe that just because people are homeless, that doesn't mean that they don't deserve to get what we have. We are able to have good education, we can get a good job, but they aren't allowed to because of their circumstances. So I pledge my full support to Senator Pangilinan. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Caleb. Senator Chimor, you're recognized.
I would also like to support her bill because this morning actually we saw some homeless people out on the beach and we actually got the chance to talk to them, and they were really in need for jobs and more education, and I think that her idea would really help prevent more increase the homeless population. I would also like to ask if I could be a co-sponsor.
On that motion, are there any objections? No objections? Motion carries. Oh, I already gavelled it, I'm sorry. Senator Garcia, would you like to speak on the bill? Okay, please proceed.
Madam Speaker, I would like to, I rise in full support for the bill because I believe that once this is passed also, this would help the homeless people in the future and also for many more generations and for their continuous families. And if this is passed, it'll become lesser homeless people around here, and I believe that it'll make Guam look even more prosperous and better. Yeah.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Senator Jordan, you're recognized.
I would like to ask a question to Senator Pangilinan.
State your question, please.
Where do you get these funds?
Senator Pangilinan, would you like to yield?
What was the question again?
Senator Jordan, could you?
Where are you gonna get the money to fund this program?
The general fund.
The general fund.
Oh,
Was
what's
her
that?
answer. Did
Yes,
that
that
answer
answered my
suit?
question.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Yes. Go ahead, Senator Jordan.
can I oppose to one thing?
Shh, okay.
Opposition to Senator Pangilinan, that the designer clothes she was talking about in page 2, line 18 or 17 to 18, including name brand products such as DNA, Papaya, Everblue, etc.
Yes.
Well, why designer clothes? Why so expensive? Why not cheap? Something that homeless at least just can wear. Maybe plain t-shirt.
Senator Pangilinan, would you like to yield to that?
Yes, because everyone is, at school, they can be bullied because of what they wear, and they can be labeled. So it's really awkward for them to just go around looking like, they're from the house or something.
Does that answer your question, Senator Jordan?
Oh, yes, but
Did you want to say something more, Senator?
I think we should save funding by just buying plain clothes because that's just necessity clothes. Just giving the bare necessities. And so she just gives clothes. Not designer because that's too expensive. We could use the funding for somewhere else like the school right now instead of people looking good in the school. Okay, just like JFK needs to get rebuilt, just put some general fund into that, please.
Senator Pangilinan, do you have an answer to that? Or, Oh, was that a question, Senator Jordan? I'm sorry. Or was it just a statement?
A statement.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else wishing to? Yes, Senator Pangilinan, you can close.
Point of view, madam, but the clothes are donated. They're not to be sold from.
Senator Pangilinan, that wasn't a question. You don't need to provide a reply. Thank you. Would you like to close on your motion, though?
Yes. Move to the third reading file.
For voting.
Okay. Send that motion to move it to the voting.
On On that motion to move it to the voting file, are there any objections? No objections, the motion carries.
Ladies, senators, we've exhausted the calendar,
Senators, we have exhausted the calendar,
and we're going to go ahead and take a
and we are going to go ahead and take a 5-minute recess. Or,
Senator Esteban.
I'm sorry, Senator Esteban,
You're recognized.
you are recognized.
Madam Speaker, notwithstanding the House rules, I move that we revert back to motions.
On that motion, are there any objections? If there are no objections,
Please proceed. We are back into motion.
please proceed, we are back into motions.
Madam Speaker, I move that protocol provide each member with a DVD at today's session.
On that motion, are there any objections?
On that motion, are there any objections? No, if not, motion carries. We will take a 5-minute recess
So that they can engross, so the clerk can engross.
so the clerk can engross the bills.
Oh, without.
I mean, without engrossment, I'm
Just to
sorry.
get set up.
Just to get set up.
Okay, 5-minute recess.
5-minute recess. We are in third reading.
And we're gonna start.
We are going to start
Bill number one.
Bill number 1.
Bill number 1-30 COR, introduced by Carmela Taikenko, an act to amend section 28475 of chapter 74 of Title 99, Guam Code annotated relative to the qualification of island veterinarians to operate quarantine facilities to kennel imported dogs.
Roll call, please.
Senator Barroso.
Oh.
Yes or no votes? Yes or no votes? Yes. Senator Elizaga.
Yes.
Senator Esteban. Senator Garcia. Senator Iriarte. Senator Wanilo. Senator Landingen. Senator Pangilinan. Senator Rubio.
Yes.
Senator Squadro. Senator Trimor. Senator Tekenko.
Bill number 1 received 12 yes votes and 0 no votes. Bill number 1 is hereby passed by Legisturon Guahan. Bill number 2, roll call. Oh, I'm sorry.
Bill number 2-30 COR, introduced by Alfonso A. Garcia, Marjorie Tremor. An act to appropriate $405,000 from the Healthy Futures Fund to the Mayor's Council of Guam to provide dumpsters for use in recycling items that are not allowed to be disposed of in the ordered dump or the Lejon landfill.
Roll call.
Senator Barroso. Senator Elizaga. Senator Esteban. Senator Garcia. Senator Iriarte. Senator Wanilo. Senator Landingen. Senator Pangilinan. Senator Rubio.
Yes.
Senator Squadro. Senator Trimor. Senator Taikenko.
Bill number 1 received, number 2, I'm sorry. Bill number 2 received 11 yes votes and 1 no vote. Bill number 2 is hereby 2-30 is hereby passed by Lihestaturan Guahan. Bill number 3-30 COR.
Bill number 3-30 COR, introduced by Sharice Esteban, Caleb Squadro. An act to add a new section 4120 to chapter 4 of the 5 GCA relative to requiring government agencies to post their budgets on their websites.
Roll call.
Senator Barroso. Senator Elizaga. Senator Esteban. Senator Garcia. Senator Iriarte. Senator Wanilo. Senator Landingen. Senator Pangilinan. Senator Rubio.
Yes.
Senator Squadro. Senator Trimor. Senator Tekenko. Senator Garcia.
Bill number 3, COR, received 11 yeses and 1 no. Bill number 3-30 COR is hereby passed by Lihestaturan Guahan. Bill number 4-30 COR.
Bill number 4-30 COR, introduced by Marjorie Tremor, Jordan Ilaziga. An act to add a new O to section 34.70 of chapter 34, title 9 GCA, relative to publishing convictions of graffiti-related crimes.
Roll call.
Senator Barroso? Senator Ilizaga? Senator Esteban? Senator Garcia?
No.
Senator Iriarte? Senator Wanillo? Senator Landingen? Senator Pangilinan? Senator Rubio?
No.
Senator Squadrille? Senator Tremor? Senator Tekenko?
Bill number 4-30 received, received 9 yeses and 3 no votes. Bill number 4-30 COR is hereby passed by Lihestaturan Guahan. Bill number 5-30 COR.
Bill number 5-30 COR, introduced by E. Elizaga. An act to add a new section 3346.1 of chapter 3, title 16 GCA, relative to restricting the use of mobile phones while driving.
Roll call, please.
Senator Barroso? Senator Ilizaga? Senator Esteban? Senator Garcia? Senator Iriarte? Senator Wanillo? Yes? Senator Landingen? Senator Pangilinan? Senator Rubio?
Pass.
Senator Squadrille? Senator Tremor? Senator Tekenko? Senator Esteban? Senator Garcia? Senator Iriarte? Senator Rubio?
Pass.
Senator Esteban? Senator Rubio?
Yes. Bill number 5. Sorry. Bill number 5-30 received 7 yes votes and 5 no votes. Bill number 5-30 COR is hereby passed by Lihestaturan Guahan.
Position 12 members. Oh, wait. No, that's right, they're excused. Bill number
sorry.
5-COR is not passed.
Oh,
It's not passed, it's 15.
I'm sorry. Bill number 5-30 is not passed.
No, we're 15. Yeah, they excused the other 3. Yeah. Okay. Number 6.
Bill number 6-30 COR.
30 COR, introduced by Manuel L. Landingin, Jordan D. Zaga. An act to make Guam streets safer by lowering the legal alcohol level by weight for motor vehicle operators from 0.08% to 0.05% by amending subsections B, D, and E of Section 18102 of Article 1, Chapter 18, Title 16, Guam Code Annotated, Safe Streets Act, and by amending subsection G of Section 18102 relative to lowering the alcohol level for minors.
Roll call, please.
Senator Barroso. Senator Elizaga. Senator Esteban. Senator Garcia. Senator Iriarte. Senator Wanillo. Senator Landingin. Senator Pangilinan. Senator Rubio.
Yes.
Senator Squadro. Senator Trimore. Senator Tykenko. Senator Esteban. Senator Garcia. Senator Wanillo. Senator Squadro.
Bill number 6-30 COR received 11 yes votes and 1 no vote. Bill number 6-30 COR is hereby passed by E. Lihesta Turan Guahan. Bill number 7-30 COR.
Bill number 7-30 COR, introduced by A.T. Iriarte, C. Typenko, E. Esteban. An act to increase the high school minimum level requirement for Chamorro language course work from 1 year to 2 years.
Roll call, please.
Senator Barroso. Senator Elizaga. Senator Esteban. Senator Garcia. Senator Iriarte. Senator Wanillo. Senator Landingin. Senator Pangilinan. Senator Rubio.
Yes.
Senator Squadro. Senator Trimore. Senator Tykenko. Senator Garcia. Senator Landingin. Senator Trimore. Senator Garcia. Senator Trimore.
Bill number 7-30 received 8 yes votes and 4 no votes. Bill number 7-30 COR is hereby passed by E. Lihesta Turan Guahan. Bill number 8-30 COR.
Bill number 8-30 COR, introduced by R.S. Wanillo, K. Rubio, M. Landingin, V. Pangilinan. An act to raise the legal drinking age from 18 to 21 years.
Roll call, please.
Senator Barroso. Senator Elizaga? Senator Esteban? Senator Garcia? Senator Iriarte? Senator Wanillo? Senator Landingen? Senator Pangilinan? Senator Rubio?
Yes.
Senator Squadro? Senator Trumore? Senator Tekenko? Senator Esteban? Senator Garcia? Senator Tekenko? Senator Esteban? Senator Tekenko?
Bill number 8-30 received 10 yes votes and 2 no votes. Bill number 8-30 COR is hereby passed by E. Legislatura en Guahan. Bill number 9-30 COR.
Bill number 9-30 COR, as amended on the floor, introduced by A.D.V. Baruso III C. Esteban. An act to add a physical fitness requirement to the minimum qualification for employment as a Guam Police Department officer and GFD.
Roll call, please.
Senator Barroso?
Yes.
Senator Elizaga? Senator Esteban? Senator Garcia? Senator Iriarte? Senator Wanillo? Senator Landingen? Senator Pangilinan? Senator Rubio?
Yes.
Senator Squadro? Senator Trumore? Senator Tekenko? Senator Esteban? Senator Garcia? Senator Landingen? Senator Trumore?
Bill number 9-30 received 11 yes votes and 1 no vote. Bill number 9-30 COR is hereby passed by E. Legislatura en Guahan. Bill number 10-30 COR.
Bill number 10-30 COR, as amended on the floor, introduced by K. Rubio C. Squadro C. Tekenko. An act to amend section 26302 and section 26603D of chapter 26 of title 11 of the Guam Code annotated relative to the alcohol beverage status.
Roll call, please.
Senator Barroso? Senator Elizaga? Senator Esteban? Senator Garcia? Senator Iriarte? Senator Wanillo? Senator Landingen? Senator Pangilinan? Senator Rubio?
Yes.
Senator Squadro? Senator Trumore? Senator Tekenko? Senator Barroso? Senator Elizaga?
Bill number 10-30 received 12 yes votes. Bill number 10-30 COR is hereby passed by E. Legislatura en Guahan. Bill number 11-30 COR.
Bill number 11-30 COR is amended on the floor, introduced by Caleb W. Squadro K. Rubio. An act to add a new subsection C to section 63109 of chapter 63, title 21 of the Guam Code annotated relative to enforcing the Clean Water Act and the Guam Territorial Seashore Act, ensuring the protection of Guam's coral reefs from soil and sediment erosion.
Roll call, please.
Senator Barroso.
Yes.
Senator Ilizaga. Senator Esteban. Senator Garcia. Senator Iriarte. Senator Wanillo. Senator Landingen. Senator Pangilinan. Senator Rubio.
Yes.
Senator Squadro. Senator Tremor. Senator Tekenko.
Bill number 11-30 COR received 12 yes votes. Bill number 11-30 is hereby passed by Ili Hestaturan Guahan. Bill number 12-30 COR.
Bill number 12-30 COR, introduced by VQ Pangilinan M. Tremor. An act to appropriate $500,000 to the Mayor's Council intended to construct a facility for the homeless tutoring, career paths, and secondhand store.
Roll call, please.
Senator Barroso. Senator Ilizaga. Senator Esteban. Senator Garcia. Senator Iriarte. Senator Wanillo. Senator Landingen. Senator Pangilinan. Senator Rubio.
Pass.
Senator Squadro. Senator Tremor. Senator Tekenko. Senator Esteban. Senator Wanillo. Senator Rubio.
Yes.
Senator Squadro. Senator Esteban. Senator Squadro.
Bill number 12-30 received 9 yes votes and 3 no votes. Bill number 12-30 COR is hereby passed by Ili Hestaturan Guahan. Senators, we have exhausted the bills and the voting file. I'd like to recognize the majority leader, Senator Barroso, on brief extension of remarks. All right.
I make a motion to pass out the certificates for the Island Leadership Day.
On that motion, are there any objections? If there are no objections, the motion carries. We're going to go ahead and take a recess to do the presentation and distribution of certificates. Thank you. And then move to adjourn right after that.
Thank you for being a part of the mock session trial today. It was a very good experience, and I'm going to go ahead and yield the mic over to our speaker to say a few words before we do the certificate presentation. Speaker?
I think on behalf of myself and all the colleagues here, I would like to thank the senators and your staff for being able to take the time and show us around what it's like to be a leader of our island, all the responsibilities and your daily trials and tribulations. So thank you for your time, and especially the staff, because you've all been really kind to us and informative. And I hope this experience helps shape our future goals. All of us here present, I know it's been a really great experience for me, and I hope it's been a good one for you guys too. So thank you again. Can I call on Mr. Ariola for the certificates?
Okay, as we call up the student counterpart, can we also be joined by the senators or the senator staff? First, let me just read the certificate, and it reads for all the student counterparts. Imina Trenton Legislatura Guahan hereby recognizes and commends all of you student counterparts as the student speaker, student senator, for their participation during Island Leadership Day 2010 as the counterpart of your respective senators. Therefore, be it resolved that the Committee on Rules of Imina Trenton Legislatura Guahan herein directs that this official expression of its recognition and commendations be forthwith sent on behalf of the people of Guam, signed and sealed in the city of Hagåtña, Guam, on the 5th day of May 2010. Signed, Tina Rose Munya Barnes, Acting Speaker, Rory J. Respicio, Chairperson, Committee on Rules, and Rory J. Respicio, Acting Legislative Secretary. I'd like to begin by presenting this to our student speaker of the day, Ms. Cara Rubio, 9th grade Academy of Our Lady of Guam. Can we have all the senators that are present here? Legislative Senator, Senator Espaldon, Senator Adolfo Palacios, Senator Pangilinan. Okay, now I'd like to call on Miss Carmela Taikenko, 10th grade Guam Adventist Academy. Legislative Secretary and counterpart to Senator Tina Rose Munya Barnes. May I call upon Mr. Armando Barroso, 11th grade John F. Kennedy High School, student senator, counterpart of Senator Rory J. Respicio. Miss Rihanna Juanillo, 8th grade Ocean View Middle School, counterpart to Senator Rory J. Respicio. Get used to it. And now I'd like to call on Jordan Elizaga, 8th grade, BSA Medaventi Middle School, counterpart to Senator Thomas Atta. I'd like to call now Manuel Ladingin, 12th grade, Simon Sanchez High School, counterpart to Senator Frank B. Uggan Jr. I'd like to now call on Alfonso Garcia, 8th grade, St. Anthony School, student senator counterpart to Senator James V. Espaldin. Beagang Pagu si Aguarin Iriarte, 11th grade, Okado High School, student senator counterpart to Senator Judith P. Gutherts. I'd like to call on now Caleb Zvario, 7th grade, Bishop Baumgartner School, student counterpart to Senator Adolfo Palacios. And now let's bring up Miss Venetia Pangilinan, 9th grade at J.P. Torres, student counterpart to Senator Ben Pangilinan. Now may I call upon Cherish Esteban, 9th grade at Notre Dame, student counterpart to Senator Tello Tadigui. May I now call Marjorie Tremor, 8th grade at Benavente Middle School, student counterpart to Senator Ray Tenorio. Okay. And now I'd like to call on Miss Ariane Taitagui, 10th grade, Guam Adventist Academy, and she is the student counterpart to myself, the executive director for today. Can we call all the student counterparts up here for a photo now?
already rush hour.